Human rights are universal and indivisible and should be upheld without exception. This is applicable in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories as it is elsewhere. This statement, which I'm sure most of us could subscribe to, isn't my statement. It's from the Declaration of Independent Jewish Voices. So I have to ask you, why was Tony Greenstein, a prominent member of Independent Jewish Voices, picketing this meeting and appearing in public and in writing supporting the academic boycott? Why is it that so many of the members of our community who support the liberalisation of freedom of speech have failed to stand up and take a stance against the single biggest threat that there's been to the civil liberties of this community since the rise of the National Front in the 1970s? And I think that we have to put all of this in context to understand what's going on. Ever since the collapse in the Oslo peace process and coalescing around the Durban United Nations Anti-Racism Conference in Durban at that time, there's been a sustained and a deliberate attempt to delegitimise the State of Israel, to delegitimise any concept of collective Jewish identity, and to exclude Jewish people from public life other than those who are prepared to play the role of dissidents, of those who are prepared to subvert the community, to draw the very claws that protect us, to in fact very much deny us the ability to complain, to talk about, to mention, to fight against anti-Semitism. There's a conscious attempt to silence us, and it's being done in subtle ways and it's being done in more direct ways. And what is needed by people, not just Jews, but everyone who cares about civil society, about civil liberties, who believes in creating a society of engagement in civil and public life. What we need to do is collectively re-find our sense of confidence. We need to individually re-engage. As Tim says, we've got to get back involved in public life. We've got to join trade unions and other political organisations. It doesn't matter what your political orientation is in this sense. We've got to re-engage with political society. We've got to relearn some of the tools that we used to have of political argument. We need to be able to articulate political argument, which is why the Engage website is so important. We can't rely on this notion of expecting people to act in a common sense way, or believing that someone will be able to influence those who have power to ensure that radical steps are not taken, which undermine things which we take for granted. It's beholden on all of us to step up to that challenge. And I hope that all of us have learnt that lesson from today, and that we're all going to do something, that this meeting isn't just yet another sort of flash in the pan. It's something that's made us all feel very good. We've all learnt something, but then we don't act on it. This meeting will only have any significance to it if it's actually a clarion call for action, that we do all actually do something, that we do take the trouble to turn up to that next branch meeting, that we do take the trouble to read some of the stuff that is circulated by organisations which claim that they represent us. So that's all I'm asking everyone here to do tonight. Finally, I'd just like to thank Kate and various other people who put a lot of work into organising this evening. And I'd like to thank all of the speakers who have come today. And most of all, I'd like to thank all of you who have taken the time and trouble to come here this evening. Thank you.